Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the VRC Carpet Track number 7 for the 12-scale electric sports cars World Championship for our 10.5 class. You see our A main grid lined up, getting set to go. Our second place driver inching at the tone. Off and underway. It's going to be Luis Condes going to be out front, your top qualifier. After qualifying here in this one, but a good battle right out of the gate here in this one. Denis Lavrentiev in that number 2 spot. Lavrentiev trying to close the gap up on him right now. In and out they go. Switch back around to the front side they go. Condes going to be out front. Dennis in the number 2 spot. Zimmerman in that number 3 spot. Thompson in the number 4 right now. Curtis Dam rounding out your top 5 early on in this one. 8-minute race for these drivers to crown a world champ in the 10.5 12-scale class. Coming back around to the front side, you can see how precise these drivers have to be. 12-scale, one of the most entertaining and probably some of the fastest racing you'll see, even with the 10.5 Spec class. And as you can see, a battle out front right now for that top spot, first and second. Look at them, back and forth they go. Condes out front now. He gives up the lead, goes just a bit wide. Whoa! Trouble there. Lavrentiev off into the wall, bumping the outside wall once again. That's going to let Condes stretch out his lead now here in this one. Zimmerman up into the number 1 spot now. Zimmerman trying to take over the lead. He drops back to the number 2 spot through the S section on the left side. Down the backstretch they go now. Your top qualifier, Luis Condes, is going to be out front leading the way. Zimmerman in the number 2 spot. Lavrentiev in the number 3 spot. Platt in the 4. Curtis Dam rounding out your top 5 here in this one. Onto the left side through the chicane. They go back down. Oh, a little mistake there for Zimmerman. Zimmerman just about hit that back wall. The same wall that Lavrentiev just about got tangled in as well. Here they come. Oh, trouble there for Zimmerman now. Zimmerman dropping to the number 3 spot here in this one. So your leader, Luis Condes, your top qualifier, trying to stretch out his lead here in this one. A driver out of Spain leading the way. Zimmerman dropping back to the number 3 spot. Denis Lavrentiev in the number 2 spot. Jason Platt still in the 4. Brian Thompson in that number 5 spot. As they're working their way back around right now, that battle for second and third. Looking at Dennis right now, holding off Zimmerman. Meanwhile, Luis Condes down the backstretch. He goes onto the right-hand side right now with a 1.1 second lead over that battle for second and third. A heated battle for second and third at that. Through the switchbacks once again onto the left-hand side they go. Still a little less than 6 minutes of racing left to go here in this one. An 8-minute A main final for these drivers. Here they come back around on the front side now. And the 2 yellow cars, Luis Condes. He's got a twin out there. That's some lap traffic. Looking like your leader. Down the backstretch they go, but you can see right behind them is going to be Lavrentiev in that number 2 spot. Zimmerman in the 3 spot. Second and third, not far back now. Look at this now. Denis Lavrentiev taking over the lead. A battle for the top spot. Down the backstretch they go. It's a drag race. The 10.5 Spec class keeping these motors. Oh, mistake there for Lavrentiev. Clipping that inside curb marker. Sent him flying on that one. That's going to allow Zimmerman to go by as well. And Luis Condes back to the front. So your top qualifier right now, not using speed, but more so consistency to keep himself out front here in this A main final. There you see Zimmerman working his way around in the number 3 spot. Brian Thompson in the number 4 spot. Fred Bodnau in that number 5. Curtis Dam in the 6. Platt in the 7. Yuri in the 8. And Huang in that number 9 spot. Look at our number 2 driver right now, Zimmerman, trying to close the gap up on your leader. Meanwhile, Lavrentiev in the number 3 spot. 1.082 seconds back from him. Luis Condes going to be out front leading the way. Coming around to the front stretch now. Into the infield he goes. His fast lap right now, a 14.7. Halfway into this one with 4 minutes down. 4 minutes left to go. Here for your leader, Luis Condes. Back onto the front stretch he goes right now. Zimmerman 1.1 seconds back in the number 2 spot. Lavrentiev in that number 3 spot. Thompson in the 4 spot. Platt in the 5. As you can see, your leader right now looking pretty flawless out front. Last time by a 15.3 though. Nearly half a second slower than his fastest lap time. And here comes second and third. Look at him charging down the backstretch. Battle for second and third right now going to be between Zimmerman in that yellow and orange car. Lavrentiev taking over the number 2 spot in the red and white car now. Second and third, turning up the heat, closing the gap up on Condes. Condes feels the heat now. Look at him down the front stretch. that last time by, 15-0. Here come, and look at Lavrentiev. Diving to the inside, back and forth he goes. He's taken over the lead now. Denis Lavrentiev going from third to first, all in one lap. Onto the right side he goes, coming back around now. 5 minutes down in this one, 3 minutes left to go. Back into the infield section, Luis Condes dropping to the number 2 spot, Zimmerman in the 3, Thompson in the 4, Jason Platt now up at the number 5 spot. Down the backstretch goes your leader, across the line once again. That time by, he's got a 0.4 of a second lead. Here comes Condes though. Condes seemed to kind of get in a little bit of a Sunday cruise there. And then he goes, oh, big mistake right there for Denis Lavrentiev. Hitting that inside curb, but once again cutting it just a bit tight. He did not need to be turn marshal, but he did hand the lead back over now. Luis Condes going to be back out front. Zimmerman going to be all over his back door, so he's in a sandwich right now. Just to say that, though, Zimmerman looking for the inside line, trying to work their way through lap traffic. Down the backstretch, onto the right-hand side they go. This is an exciting A final here for 12-scale sports car. 10-5. Lavrentiev working his way now back over to the lead now. Condes goes a bit wide. Onto the backstretch now, onto the right-hand side. Lavrentiev out front. Condes in number 2, Zimmerman in the 3, Thompson in the 4, Platt in the 5. As they come back onto the left-hand side right now, looks to me like Denis starting to oh, another mistake! Into the back wall he goes. That same inside curb marker catches the inside, spins him around, and unfortunately calls for a turn marshal on that one. That cost him some serious time, so that may have been his shot at a world championship title there for Denis Lavrentiev, as he has now dropped 2.5 seconds back, which doesn't sound like much, but just over a minute to go now. Luis Condes out front with Zimmerman in the number 2 spot. He's 0.6 of a second back. No more mistakes right now for Denis as he's trying to catch back up to our top 2. Your top 2 drivers coming back around to the front side now. Down the front stretch they go. We're looking at Zimmerman. Zimmerman, the yellow, red, and white, chasing down your leader. He's closed the gap up 0.4 of a second now between them. On the right-hand side they go. 50 seconds left to go right now. This is going to be a battle right down to the wire for the World Championship title. And now your leader changes. It's going to be Zimmerman to the front now. Luis Condes dropping to the number 2 spot. Zimmerman just turned up the heat, hitting those lines right there. Denis Lavrentiev in the number 3 spot. Brian Thompson the 4, Jason Platt in the 5. So Zimmerman out front leading the way here in this one. And you can see him weaving and bobbing in and out of lap traffic. Down the backstretch they go right now. Zimmerman out front, but he's got Luis Condes right behind him, 0.1 of a second back. They've got 15 seconds left of the master clock. I believe they're going to get one more lap after this one. Onto the left-hand side they go through the chicane, down the backstretch now. Here comes Zimmerman cross line. They're going to get this is going to be their final lap. 5 seconds left to go. Denis going to get the free one as well. 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. That is time. Here we go. It's a race down the backstretch. All Zimmerman's got to do is make it down the back straight. Unbelievable! Zimmerman with the win. Luis Condes coming in the number 2 spot, and Denis Lavrentiev rounding out your top 3.